Will Ethiopia's new ambassador to Somalia herald a diplomatic breakthrough? In a move signaling a thaw after nearly a year of frozen ties, Ethiopia has dispatched a seasoned diplomat to Mogadishu, marking a pivotal moment in the Horn of Africa's diplomatic chessboard. Hi, I'm Iman Freed, and this is Analytica Today. On August 5, 2025, an ambassador, Suleiman Dedefo Woshe, presented his credentials in Mogadishu, becoming Ethiopia's first envoy to Somalia since diplomatic relations ground to a halt last autumn. His appointment closes a chapter that began when Somalia expelled Ethiopia's previous ambassador in response to controversial port deal with Somaliland. Against this backdrop, a series of high-level meetings, including Egypt's deepening engagement with Somalia and Egypt's ongoing tensions with Ethiopia over the Nile's waters, have reshaped regional alignments and raised fresh stakes in the Horn of Africa geopolitics. A diplomatic reset in Mogadishu. Ethiopia's new ambassador, Suleiman Dedefo Woshe, handed over his credentials to Somalia's Minister of Foreign Affairs, Abdisalam Abdi Ali, in a ceremony at the Foreign Minister's headquarters in Mogadishu. The ceremony, attended by senior Somali officials and diplomats, underscored both sides' eagerness to move beyond last year's departure and to restore brotherly relations. As Minister Abdi Ali put it, for Addis Ababa, which had gone 10 months without an ambassador-level presence in Mogadishu, the move represented a calculated bid to re-anchor bilateral cooperation on security, trade, and infrastructure. Somalia, for its part, has insisted on reassessing its stance after expelling the previous Ethiopian ambassador in late 2020. Somalia, for its part, has insisted on reasserting its stance after expelling the previous Ethiopian ambassador in late 2024. That expulsion followed Addis Ababa signing of a port access memorandum with Somaliland, an unrecognized breakthrough region of northern Somalia. The resulting diplomatic freeze jeopardized joint counter-insurgency operations against Al-Shabaab and threatened to unravel regional security frameworks under the African Union's aegis. The legacy of the Ankara Declaration. The reset builds on the Ankara Declaration of December 2024, when Turkey mediated a rapprochement between Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed and President Hassan Sheikh Mohamud. That agreement committed both capitals to restore full diplomatic ties and revitalize joint efforts against extremist threats. When the declaration laid the groundwork, progress stalled amid mutual mistrust. The new ambassador shoulders the burden to rebuild trust. Since January 2025, both nations have exchanged visits at ministerial level. In late July, Somalia's State Minister for Foreign Affairs, Ali Balkad, indicated that Mogadishu was ready to reconsider Ethiopian troop participation in the new African Union support and stabilization mission in Somalia. Under agreed troop quotas, Ethiopia is slated to contribute personnel alongside contingents from Uganda, Djibouti, and Egypt. Egypt's expanding influence. While Ethiopia and Somalia recalibrate their bilateral relationship, Egypt has moved to deepen ties with Mogadishu. In January 2025, Cairo and Mogadishu concluded a strategic partnership covering political, economic, and military cooperation. Under that pact, Egypt pledged to rebuild Somalia's Ministry of Defense, to supply arms and equipment, and to deploy 10,000 troops, 5,000 under the AWSOM umbrella and another 5,000 for standalone operations in central Somalia. This overture both underscores Cairo's ambition to project power in the Horn and serves as a counterweight to Ethiopia's influence. Egypt's recent engagements include high-level visits by Somali Defense Minister Abdul Kader Noor to Cairo in June 2025, and by Egypt's Foreign Minister Badr Abdelatif to Mogadishu in July. Abdelatif's delegation announced plans for joint naval training exercise and for Egyptian investment in Somalia port infrastructure. Moves closely watched in Addis Ababa given ongoing tensions over Ethiopia's Grand Renaissance Dam projects on the Blue Nile. Nile waters and regional fault lines. The Grand Ethiopian Renaissance Dam has long been a flashpoint between Addis Ababa and Cairo. Cairo, which fears reduced Nile flows, has hinted at leveraging new partnerships in the Horn to pressure Ethiopia on water negotiations. Somalia becoming reliant on Egypt's agricultural aid and sovereign support finds itself drawn into this wider hydropolitical dynamics. As diplomatic channels reopen between Addis Ababa and Mogadishu, water security concerns are poised to feature more prominently in trilateral discussions. This shifting matrix, Ethiopia seeking regional solidarity, Somalia hedging between Addis Ababa and Cairo, and Egypt countering Mogadishu. The road ahead. Ambassador Dedefo's arrival provides a test case for the durability of the diplomatic reset. In the coming months, his mandate will include reactivating bilateral commissions on security, trade, and infrastructure, and coordinating Ethiopia's share of awesome deployments. The success of these efforts will hinge not only on restoring trust, but on navigating the Nile's hydropolitics and Egypt's intensifying role in Somalia. For Somalia, the reset offers a chance to rebuild critical security partnerships and diversifying external support beyond the external bloc, the Eastern Bloc. For Somalia, the reset offers a chance to rebuild critical security partnerships and diversify external support beyond the Eastern Bloc. For Ethiopia, it presents an opportunity to re-engage in the fight against Al-Shabaab and to counterbalance Egypt's growing sway in Mogadishu. Yet with water negotiations likely to dominate Addis Cairo talks and with Ankara still poised as a mediator, the coming weeks will be decisive. As two of the Horn's key powers realign, the border region watched closely. Will Ethiopia and Somalia's rapprochement unlock new avenues for cooperation, or will external partnerships, particularly Egypt's, reshape the strategic calculus? In this complex interplay of diplomacy and security, the ambassador in Mogadishu may find himself at the epicenter of new era of regional relations. I'm Yuan Freid, and this is Analytica Today.